This is the first time a Chancellor has been essentially sacked since Margaret Thatcher occupied the building behind me. It wasn't meant to be like this, of course, as you say, a mid-level, mid-impact reshuffle that wasn't expected to sort of topple the houses ended with the departure of Sajid Javid just around 12 o'clock today. Why? Well, you've heard about the ultimatum from the Prime Minister. Boris Johnson wanted Sajid Javid to fire his aides. There was a feeling in number 10 behind me that they'd been briefing, that they wanted to take the government in a slightly different direction, and they weren't going to put up with it. So Boris Johnson said you've got to get rid of the half a dozen or so special advisors that work with you. Sajid Javid, who's already lost a couple of special advisors at the behest of Boris Johnson's right-hand man, Dominic Cummings, said no, and the two men parted ways. Why is this important? Well, that's because, not just because this is about special advisors, those shadowy figures in the fringes of politics who you hear about but often don't see on camera, but it's actually because the people behind me in Downing Street and the people in front of me in the Treasury actually want to do different things. Treasury often concerned about spending, want to keep spending on the straight and narrow. People in Downing Street behind me want to spend a lot, not least to win the next election. And Boris Johnson was worried that basically wants more control, more influence over the Treasury, which does operate as a somewhat independent organisation and institution within government. He wasn't going to put up with that, so instead he's put his own man, 39-year-old Rishi Sunak, who was Chief Secretary to the Treasury, number 2, has been promoted to number 1. He's gone in. He agreed to the thing that Sajid Javid refused, which is a joint team working between number 10 and number 11. That's a big change, and it means a slight shift, but a big one in the way the government operates in the coming months.